Welcome back to Missouri Tigers on SI. My name is Killian Wright, beat reporter, and this is the Extra Point. Today, we're going to be looking at Anthony Robinson's star potential for the 2025-2026 season. Now, Robinson in his freshman campaign in 23-24 played just a lesser role, coming off the bench, playing about 13 minutes a night, only 3 points a game, some pretty below average efficiency. And then in the sophomore campaign was one of the biggest reasons for the Tigers turnaround into becoming a March Madness team. Robinson leapt his averages up to about 9 points a game, 3.5 assists, 3 rebounds, shot 40% from three, and was named to an SEC All Defense team. Pretty impressive stuff for the sophomore guard, considering the role he was confined to as kind of really that fourth option behind Grill, Mitchell, and Bates. And then he is in terms of scoring. He did kind of take over the duties as the floor general for the team. Certainly split lots of touches with Grill and Bates in terms of workload, but he was probably the best playmaker for the Tigers last year, leading them in assists. But as I mentioned, with guys like Grill and Bates now testing their waters in the NBA draft and obviously leaving the Tigers, a lot of the responsibility on offense those guys had is going to fall to Robinson as he's kind of the lone starting guard that's returning for next year. His efficiency last year was ridiculously good. As I mentioned, about 48% from the field and 40% from three. And there was times throughout the season where he showed the ability to maintain that efficiency in an even larger role. You look at the California game, he got up to 29 points on 13 free throws while shooting over 60% from the field. And you go down to Georgia, 15 points, shooting over 60% from the field again on 11 shots. He showed the ability to up his volume while maintaining his efficiency, which is really important in terms of a potential leap for him. A lot of shots are going to open up, so it's realistic to assume that Robinson maybe starts hitting this 9, 10, 11, 12 field goals a game range as the season kicks off and goes along. Robinson could really take over as the secondary or even primary scorer, depending on how Mark Mitchell does. But Robinson and Mitchell could form kind of the identity of the Tigers' big two as the duo this year, kind of running the show now that they're both taking the reins away from Grill and Bates. For Robinson specifically, though, the only way he's going to be able to do this is if he can stay on the court and get his minutes closer to that 29, 30 minutes per game range that he couldn't see last year. Last year, he struggled with fouls a lot, would oftentimes have to sit out long stretches of games due to just not being able to stay on the court from foul trouble, hitting that fourth foul really early on, or even that third foul before halftime. That'll put you in dangerous range in terms of being able to close games out. So for Robinson's success and the Tigers' success, he'll have to get his foul trouble into check and make sure he can stay on the court for the Tigers. But as long as that happens, which there's reason to expect it will, as Robinson showed incredible growth from year 1 to 2, he can obviously grow even more from year 2 to 3. Robinson could hit some really impressive levels statistically wise for next year. There's no reason to assume he can't hit that 14, 15 points per game, up his assists to maybe 5 or 6 with a bigger workload, and really become the engine that runs this Tigers machine and keeps it going as the best playmaker, and then maybe even taking a leap, as I mentioned, as the best scorer. He's got all the ways in the world to do it. He gets to the rim at an incredible rate. I mentioned those 11 free throws versus Cal. He was hitting 7, 8 free throws in multiple games in SEC competition. He's got a nice pull-up jumper, can shoot off catch, and he's got range on it too. Against Alabama and KU, I remember Anthony Robinson hitting a couple really deep threes. He's really got the complete package on what it could take for him to become a great scorer, and there's no reason he can't do it.